I don't know if you can see behind me, but it looks like golf heaven. It's not golf heaven, it's TPI. Titleist Performance Institute. I'm with Steve Wilson, Director of Golf out here, and this place, I just told you off camera, this is immaculate. It looks outstanding. I know we can't show the whole thing. We're going to try to give a little bit of a tour, but if you could describe this to people, what is this place and what goes on here?
Well, thank you very much for the comments. You know, there's so much that goes on here at TPI. We deal with a lot of different entities within our business. First and foremost, we deal with our tour players and what we call our next gen athletes, which are our college athletes, elite amateur athletes, high school golfers. On top of that, we're fitting the consumer here day to day.
Sure.
So we do almost 1,300 consumer fits a year. On top of that, we do almost 2,000 individuals for training and educational events throughout the season. We're a huge R&D facility where the ball testing is out here, ball R&D, club R&D is out here as well. And we're a special events field. So we have the sales and marketing teams, the global marketing teams that all have their annual events out here. So we just finished up a renovation, as you can see.
Yeah.
We're very proud of what it turned out to be, but really the overstretching goal of the renovation was to take care of all those entities, give them their own area to work from, and then try to elevate those spots to work from within. So we're here on the tour tee, the leadership tee as we call it. They have a number of different targets to hit to. We'll have 3 different targets out to the west. This first green over here is 12,000 square feet, so pretty good size.
Yeah.
Your average size on your average golf course is going to be right around 4,000 square feet.
Yep.
So pretty big over here for shots from about 60 to 140 yards.
Is the size for versatility too, that you can mix up shot types and try to test different things?
It is. I mean, you can work on your pitch shots all the way out to kind of a short iron shot.
Sure.
But really the vision too of this green was, as we start to see more college players, we can envision a couple college teams out there on both sides of that green hitting bunker shots, hitting chip shots, either from the rough or short fairway shots, and getting creative with their game. So
yeah, big
versatility with that first green.
How important is it for tour players, college players, you as a company, to have open air like this, and we're not hitting into a screen? At Carl's, we are big believers that you should be able to watch your ball go.
Yeah.
How important is that to have all of this out here so that when you do have research and development happening, that they can actually see what's happening?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we're blessed with 30 acres of turf, 33 acres entirely on the property, and with 30 acres, we never have to shut down any kind of event.
Yeah.
So if we have a couple college teams over here mixed in with some tour players, consumer fitting happen in the center, R&D happening over the south, we can multitask throughout the day and never have to shut down operations. In fact, through the last 2.5 years when we were doing this renovation out here, we never shut down our operations for any part of our business.
Wow.
So we're pretty proud of that.
Yeah, and you mentioned consumers. It's not just tour players, consumers. Yeah. We actually got to see a little bit inside.
That's right.
Just happened to see Mr. Vokey walking by, and
right.
a legend in the golf game and around here, I'm sure, but a consumer was coming in to have the Vokey experience.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit to that and what all takes place? Because as even someone in the golf industry, that sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, those experiences aren't hard to fill.
Sure.
I mean, Mr. Vokey's out here as much as he can be. He's on the road a little bit too. But we've actually dedicated an entire part of the property to our Vokey experiences and our wedge tour team. So we call it the Vokey Outpost. It's accompanied with a 13,000 square foot short game green with 6 hole locations, multiple bunkers to hit from, multiple lies to hit from, and types of grass. We're actually going to have a building that accompanies that area. We've purchased 2 shipping containers that are going to act as kind of a lounge and workshop for both Bob and Aaron.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, you can go on the Vokey.com website and sign up for a Vokey experience as just a normal everyday consumer.
Yeah.
You get 3 hours with Bob, you get 4 custom wedges, and you get to hear all the stories that Bob has to tell you over his life on tour.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Vokey Outpost area. Again, as we mentioned, largest green on our complex, 13,000 square feet, 6 different hole locations. Mm-hmm. It really starts from back in this area.
Okay.
So you can actually do some gap fitting. If you're in the center of the area, you can do some gap fitting to the Vokey green this way, or you can turn around and hit back towards this snaky green behind you. So you can have a couple fittings going on at once, and then multiple bunkers, 2 on the east side of the green, 2 on the west side of the green, and then these mid bunkers that we all practice, that 50-yard bunker shot that we all love, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So that spot over there is going to be the new home of the Vokey Outpost. That's a couple shipping containers. It's going to serve as kind of a lounge and workshop for both Bob and Aaron. It's still an R&D and test facility, but we hired a gentleman by the name of David McClay-Kidd, famously known for the architect of Bandon Dunes, amongst other world golf courses around he's done. But his intentions were here. His comment to us was, hey, I think TPI is like a 7 or 8. And we were like, man, we thought we were a 10 already. He's like, I'm going to make you a 10. And he goes, we're going to create this R&D and test and consumer fitting facility, but we're also going to blend in some golf features. So these bunkers are, just like bunkers he would put on the golf courses with the high noses that would create some challenges for the consumers as they go through a fitting. Or
they terrify me just looking at them.
they're strong. They're very strong. But as we mentioned, he's routed in a 9-hole golf course. So it is R&D, it is consumer. It's all about fitting and research and development. But it's like a golf course here too.
It really
has
is.
A lot of cool golf features to it, and that was David's intention. A gentleman by Nick Sean was on the ground helping us out with that too. And their vision and the company's vision, came to life for what you see today. But as you get out here, you can kind of see how it's going to evolve as far as the different parts of the property and how we're going to utilize them. So, this whole side looking back, this will be kind of the tour area starting from the clubhouse that they'll work out of. Inside that building's a full build shop, so we can make clubs on the spot. Conference room where we'll be able to meet with coaches, agents, sit with parents before fittings and after fittings. Men's and women's locker rooms, there's a small cafe, and that kind of leads out to their dedicated tee space. The building next to it, the small one, is the all ball testing building. That's where robots were firing shots down this fairway as we tested our ball and the competitors' golf ball and next generation golf balls. We're actually going to tear that building down, extend it out towards us, and that's going to be the new tour lab.
Oh, wow.
So inside there is going to be 2 massive bays with force plate and motion capture systems and a FootJoy shoe fit lab. So when those tour athletes or the college kids come out, they'll be able to get fit for a shoe, get on some force plates, see how they use the ground with that shoe and how they fit, and then leave this property with hopefully a great fitting pair of shoes. The middle area sets up for our consumer sides. So they'll hit down the center fairway as we do consumer fits. We know what we need. We're kind of in the visionary stage of this, but we know the upstairs we're going to probably turn into a nice player's lounge. So that'll feed out into a patio. So if you want to have a drink or a nice snack before or after your fitting, plug in or catch some news or a sporting event, you'll be able to do that up there. The 2 bays downstairs we'll use for indoor, outdoor fitting bays in case we do get some weather out here. We'll be able to utilize that. And then the downstairs gym, we know we need a gym because we'll continue with our TPI experiences with Greg and Dave and their team. But we're going to kind of split the gym in half. One will be dedicated towards equipment. The other half is going to be recovery. So we'll have a cold plunge, sauna, and some adjustment rooms out here. So the consumer and the tour player can come through and really get a nice workout and experience for them at the end of the day. Moving more south, that's our current maintenance facility. We actually are building a new maintenance facility just over the hillside of this Vokey Green that you can't see. But it's in the works and should be done probably sometime September, October. When we move our team out from that building to back on this part of the property, we're going to extend that building on both the north and south side. That becomes home of the new Titleist Learning Center. So all the educational events that we run here, TPI seminars, sales and marketing events, training events, will all be inside that building. There'll be an auditorium with seating of about 95, multi-purpose room for seating about 160, catering room, board room, some business centers in there. So that will be a heavily used building in the future. And then you move to the right and you'll kind of see our R&D spot. That's the new home of the Advanced Research Center. You see the 4 bays over there in the corner. The 2 end bays, 1 and 4, are dedicated both TPI, both outfitted with force plates and motion capture systems. And then the 2 middle bays are the new home of ball robot testing. So in the future, the ball testing team will come out here and use the south fairway to test the golf ball with 2 robots. And then a fun fact, in the back of that building, Greg Rose has entered into some other sports. As you may or may not know, we've built him an indoor batting and pitching cage. So that area is going to be outfitted with a pitcher's mound with force plates, batting cage with force plates, motion capture systems, obviously enclosed with netting. He's doing the same kind of biomechanic work that he's done with golfers for years. Baseball is now catching up saying, hey, we'd like to collect that data and have you help our athletes. So we got a nice little spot for him to do that.
That's awesome. You've done something that most people can't. I'm speechless. I have nothing to add to that. TPI has thought of everything. Unbelievable place out here with Titleist.